Welcome to another episode of Action Video Game Talk. I'm your host, Scott Action Jackson, and I'm going to share some news articles and some opinions on them. So let's go ahead and hop right into the news articles. For maybe months now, we kind of know that there's going to be an Uncharted PS4, special systems. And here in the US, I think that they are bundled with the Uncharted 4 game. And they're supposed to be like the standard 500 gigabytes. Well, apparently now, overseas, I think in the UK, the pre-orders have started for a 1 terabyte Uncharted 4 PS4 system. The bundle costs $350, apparently. No, actually, from what I'm reading from this news article, there's multiple prices. It says, the console on its own is up for pre-order now at Game for 330, pound, whatever it is over there overseas. A $350 bundle includes the game and 2-month pass to Now TV movies. So that's 2 different bundles with the new 1 terabyte system they got over there. And a $380 bundle includes a gray-blue DualShock 4 controller instead of the game, and the whole lot will set you back $400. Now, I'm wondering why. It's one of these weird situations where it's like, why do they get better stuff overseas than they do over here? And this is especially the case, I know it has been in the past for like Ubisoft and their collector's editions, like for Assassin's Creeds and probably the Watch Dogs as well. Their collector's editions and stuff like that were a lot better than ours. I mean, they even had like a complete Assassin's Creed Saga set, and we never did. And this is another one of those cases right here. It's like a 1 terabyte PlayStation 4 Uncharted 4 system. And from the image, it looks exactly like the way it's supposed to look here in the US. So I guess they just threw in a 1 terabyte system. But to me, this is a bit disappointing that they're not bringing it over here to the US. Because obviously there's a lot of PlayStation 4 fans, players, consumers all over the world. Not just in the UK. I mean, there is some in the US, there's some in Japan. It's like, hello? Sony, do something about this. But yeah, presently it is just up for pre-order for, I guess, over there. There is no word about if it is or will it even come over here, which is very, very unfortunate, and I hope Sony definitely does something to change this. So it has been apparently 5 years since the PlayStation Network was down for more than 3 weeks with one little hack that happened. And just now, Sony is getting ready to implement a 2-factor authentication. Sorry if I got that, but they're going to have where you have to do your normal login, but also an additional password that they had to message you by way of a text message, or maybe for your smartphone, or by way of maybe like an email. So you had to log in normally and then give an additional password to make sure that you are you. Now this is something that Sony should have done maybe, I don't know, a year after that happened. But then again, people are saying that the PS3 isn't really something that Sony could have done something like this with. But when the PlayStation 4 launched, that would have been more than enough for them to actually start doing this authentication. This 2-factor authentication, like I said, sorry if I'm getting this wrong. But it says here that Sony has confirmed to Polygon that it will be implementing the practice after user images showed up online with evidence that could be not the actual people playing. But the See if I can find it here. The note about the two-factor authentication, yeah, appears to be part of a firmware update distributed already, but only when the credentials are rejected. Sony has not committed to specific timing for the rollout of its two-factor authentication feature. However, the firmware is now primed for when it happens. So, as far as we know, it could actually be on there right now, as far as like on the PS4. And it probably is kicking in on the PS3 if people are having issues like logging into their profile and stuff multiple times. They probably will be booted. But that's assuming you forgot your password. I mean, you can go and reset your password and have it sent to your email and stuff like that. But something like this, Sony should have definitely have been on kind of since the launch of the PS3. Should have is the key words. I think it was back at this past E3, Nintendo unveiled what they called Metroid Prime Federation Force. Now, a lot of people were hating on this. A lot of people. I mean, even I had a little bit of hatred, because I know that Nintendo should have been throwing out an actual normal standard Metroid game. Not like a small mini game things for the 3DS. But we now know that there's a release date for the Metroid Prime Federation Force. It will be launching August 19th of this year. So when that comes out, we will be able to see the final verdict on this different Metroid entry. And I don't know, I mean, Nintendo has been trying to make up for throwing this random curveball of a Metroid game. I mean, they're saying that it is part of the timeline somehow. But, I don't know, this is one of those, I guess, Nintendo cash grabs that they're trying to do that I don't think is going to be that successful. From everything that I saw gameplay-wise, this is going to be a lot like the Metroid Prime Hunter type games that they had on the original DS, and probably like the Metroid Prime games in the past, where you just seen like first person just shooting pew 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 pew. And it's gonna look really, really digitally grained and stuff. So if this game does become a success, who knows, they might try to do something else along the lines of it, or at least throw out some additional content for people who love the game. It is just a sad disappointment that Nintendo won't acknowledge that people want a normal standard Metroid game. I mean, if you go like, maybe like say Metroid Prime 4, or Metroid Prime some other subtitle, or maybe Metroid some other subtitle, it's like, hey, you get to play as Samus again. Samus is back in a game. But no, Nintendo wants to try stretching out to other people and other stories for some odd reason. Even though I don't know if there's a full story behind this Federation Force, so. With Pokemon's 20th anniversary, maybe many people have seen these commercials for the new Pokemon Go, and the little, I guess, commercial that they had for the Super Bowl, which both of them had kind of live action with CGI Pokemon. And I guess because of that, Nintendo, well, the Pokemon Company, is looking into getting a live action film made based on the creature collecting franchise. Apparently, it's been a top secret auction to get the film rights to Pokemon. It's been between multiple companies, from Warner Brothers to Legendary, and I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, if you can get the movie done similar to how those commercials were, like the Pokemon Go trailer, like the Super Bowl commercial, and you have blended like CGI and live action, you could kind of pull it off. It just depends on what kind of a story that they put behind it, and hopefully the CGI isn't total crap. For me, what company? I know a while back, Sony has been trying to get into talks about making a Super Mario Brothers like CG animated movie. With these two names that were brought up for companies, well, Sony's name was in the running too. Sony, Warner Brothers, and Legendary. I kind of hope Warner Brothers does pick it up, because Warner Brothers did help release the Pokemon animated movies when they came out. The Mewtwo Strikes Back, Pokemon movie 2000, the third Pokemon movie, and some of the other ones I forgot if they were still Warner Brothers or not. I don't think they were, but I think Warner Brothers was involved with the first 3 movies that were released through that way. I hope they get involved with this live action movie if it does go anywhere, unlike what was going on with the Sony and the Super Mario game movie thing. But to me, I just hope they don't fuck this up like Fox did with Dragon Ball, or kind of how some of the other video game movies did get fucked up, like the Super Mario Brothers movie. That, I think, it wasn't Disney, it was like an off-brand Disney company actually put it out. But it wasn't even, the only thing that they got right with some of the movie was like the Mario name, Luigi's name, and Daisy. Yeah, the names. Hopefully something like this, we will see or know something that will be hopefully close to the source material of maybe, hopefully like the red, blue, green, like story-ish thing that they had. Because I know that they did previously, in Japan, they released, I think it was Pokemon Origins, which was kind of a tale from the very first Pokemon game. Now, if they were able to try something like that with a live-action movie, it'd be interesting to see. Of course, that's assuming that they would go that route and not try to do like a whole new, like, offshoot movie like they do with some of these offshoot Pokemon games. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Action Video Game Talk. Once again, thanks for joining me today, or tonight, or whenever you're watching or listening to this episode. If you want to, go and leave some comments on your opinions on these news articles. Leave them down below. So until next time, bye.